What's up everyone, it's Hitman89, hope you're having an awesome day. Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon has been in early access for 2 years now, and it just got a huge update that I got 5 days early, so I thought I'd dive into it in order to answer the following question. Is Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon worth buying right now, or should you wait for the full release? Let's find out. In this game, right after you create a character, you find yourself in a prison cell. The piece of shit that's been torturing you, well, he takes an arrow to the head and this mysterious dude frees you. After what's basically the tutorial island, you finally make it to Avalon. This is a tough game, so even these regular enemies were able to one-shot me. But hey, at least I met this knight who kindly offered to finish me off? No, not like that. He offered to kill me in a duel. Let's get serious for a second. Although the enemies can take you out in a couple of hits, they're pretty dumb. For example, if you fight them too far from their initial position, they stop mid-fight, run back to their positions, and completely forget about you. Like here, these guys were fucking me up in a 3v1, but then they just ran back to their positions like the dumbasses they are. On the other hand, I really like the overhauled UI. It's much more organized and practical, and that's really important in a game where you spend a lot of time comparing stats, trying out different loadouts, and managing your inventory. By the way, am I the only one who loves picking up everything? And I mean everything. From vegetables to rusty swords, if I can carry it, I'm taking it. Sometimes I even get a little carried away. Shitty puns aside, I loot first, fight later, so this bald bitch caught me off guard and killed me. But hey, at least I died doing what I loved. You know, I noticed something playing this game. No matter how tough your enemies are, they're a lot less intimidating in their medieval underwear. Oh, and just cause I like you guys, I'm giving away a copy of Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon on Steam. I'll tell you how to enter the giveaway at the end of the vid. For now, let's go back to the review. Avalon is an interesting place and exploring it is always rewarded. If you wander around, you'll most likely end up finding an optional dungeon, an NPC, or even a dead one that'll give you a quest, and most importantly, you'll find treasure chests. And if you want an even more challenging experience, try exploring during nighttime, cause that's when the fog, aka the weirdness, takes over regular enemies and turns them into these possessed, tougher creatures, but the reward is worth it, cause they drop these special items that you can identify at a bonfire. There are also unique enemies that you only see at night, and that's pretty cool. But no one can deny this is a janky game, and since it's still in early access, you're probably wondering, does it have any bugs? Yes. I was fighting some bandit leader when he suddenly fell off this bridge. Not gonna lie, I was pretty excited cause that was my 69th time fighting this motherfucker. He didn't die though, he just teleported inside the tower, then fell off again. Somehow, he survived the fall, so I had to fight his ass again, and he killed me. Speaking of falling off, when I dismounted my horse, I fell through the floor. Thank God I just had to click unstuck and everything went back to normal. You know what didn't get unstuck though? Galahad and his guards. During this boss fight, none of them could move, so only the archers were able to attack me. Keep in mind I fought him several times. And yeah, you guessed it, the only time I was able to beat everyone and leave this place alive was when this bug happened. Despite the bugs and jank, I still got addicted to this game and I enjoyed every second of it. Why? Cause the gameplay is dope. Melee is great, I specialized in two-handed weapons, and crushing my enemies with a big-ass warhammer feels awesome. Ranged combat is usually not my thing, but landing headshots feels so satisfying that I start every fight with my bow. You can dual-wield weapons from the get-go, and I absolutely love the what you see is what you get loot system. When you kill an enemy, you can have their sword, their clothes, their boots, and their motorcycle. Okay, I'll stop with the shitty jokes. In this game, you don't just level up by fighting and doing quests. Almost anything you do gives you XP. Whether it's cooking, crafting, exploring, or even just running around. Cause you get some XP every time you level up one of these skills. Oh, and they each have their own skill tree. Speaking of which, you can pick locks, make potions, craft weapons and armor, cook meals. Long story short, the game is deep. When playing a lot of RPGs, I usually stick to the main quest, cause side quests feel like, well, like side quests. Not here though, and that's why I love doing most of them. Keep in mind with this huge update, only the revamped Act 1 is available, and it offers around 20 hours of content. Act 2 and Act 3 are being finalized for the full release in a couple of months. Now in terms of performance, Tainted Grail The Fall of Avalon still needs some work. It runs better than it did last year, but for me, at 4K, the frame rate seems to fluctuate between 120 and 70 for no apparent reason. Cause as you can see, visually speaking, apart from the sweet light and effects, nothing really justifies this kind of performance on a 4080. Another thing that bothered me is that some of the voice lines are missing. Don't know if it's a bug or if they don't have all the dialogue lines properly voiced yet, but one thing's for sure, it hurts the immersion. Having this guy transition from male to female mid-conversation is definitely a bug though.
Take this medicine to my father, will you? I will hold it here.
Why? Something rang with our hospitality.
Some characters can be funny on purpose too. Take this dude for example. He asked me to make him a pie, so I did. And this is what he said when he ate it.
Yes. Still tastes like shit. Exactly how my mother would make it.
There's another quest that made me laugh, where you gotta try out a potion and you end up speaking like this. People say Tainted Grail The Fall of Avalon reminds them of Skyrim, but for me, it's more like an Oblivion with modern mechanics that plays like a first-person Dark Souls, and I love it. It feels awesome to go from a weak-ass bitch who gets one-shot by everyone to a sick warrior with a big-ass hammer who gets two-shot by everyone. Let's move on to the verdict. The 0.9 early access version is already pretty solid, addictive, and super enjoyable. This is the type of game I can play all day and not get bored. But as I showed in this vid, there is definitely some stuff that needs to be ironed out before the full release. And that's why I'm giving Tainted Grail The Fall of Avalon a 7.5 out of 10. If, like me, you love this kind of stuff, go for it. In my opinion, it's worth every penny. And that's gonna be it for this review. I hope you found it helpful, or at least funny. For a chance to win a Steam Early Access copy of Tainted Grail The Fall of Avalon, all you have to do is subscribe, hit the like button, and leave a comment that contains H89. I'll pick the winner at the end of next vid. Good luck. It's been Hitman89. Have a good one.
I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're